In our trailer, everything is movable, including the kitchen sink.
Welcome back to the show. This is Patrick with New Jersey's Outdoor Adventures YouTube channel. Today, I have a very special episode for you. I have Mike with Search for Outdoors. They build these awesome travel trailers that are gonna fully transform your camping experience. And what I mean by that is the whole inside is transformable. You can move everything around. And in the back, there's a sunroom that pops out that really transforms your camping experience and brings the outside in. He's gonna give us a full tour inside and out, so join us.
Hey Patrick, nice to finally meet you. As mentioned, I am Mike with Search for Outdoors. This is our prototype travel trailer. We're a New Jersey-based company specializing in a single trailer. This is our S4. It is designed with the action sports market in mind, specifically surfers, skiers, snowboarders, and mountain bikers. Today I'm going to be giving you a walkthrough of this trailer. We designed this trailer because we felt like there was a lot of trailers already out there for people that want to RV, people that want to go camping properly. So this is designed more for the individuals that of course want to do that, but use it more for specific purposes. Chasing powder to Vermont, heading down to the Outer Banks for a hurricane, or taking your family mountain biking somewhere. As I want to mention, this is a prototype. A couple of things will be changing during the production. So out here, we have aluminum skin, just to start. I figure if it's good enough for Airstream, it's good enough for us. Also, if something gets damaged, you only have to replace one piece at a time as opposed to an entire wall. We have a 12-foot manual awning. This is a 13-foot box with a 4-foot V-nose. We did make the decision to go with the V-nose because it does allow for a little bit more storage with having a shorter hitch. The height of the trailer is just under 10 foot. It's 9 feet 9 inches with the air conditioning unit included. It is 84 inches wide. Tip to tongue is approximately 19 feet, just under that. Going over a couple other things here as well. We've got RV lock, standard, grab handle. We use Arctic Turn double paned windows, European style, with integrated screens and shades. We have a little table here outside as well. We use off-road independent suspension. We use CruiseMaster. The production is going to be XT, CruiseMaster XT suspension. We did make the decision to use the coils instead of an airbag. Airbags are obviously great, but in our opinion, it's just one extra thing that can break. Not to mention the fact that you're going to be using this to go skiing, snowboarding, whatever, and airbags don't typically love cold weather that much. One thing I will mention, axle placement here. We did make the decision very late in the production to shorten the entire trailer. Originally it was a bit longer, which is why the axle is where it is. We decided to shorten it because 19 feet is big enough to fit, or I should say short enough to fit into a single parking space, which is very important. When you go skiing, you can unhitch, pull it into a parking space. You don't have to worry about it. Also, storage-wise, renting a regular parking space versus an extended space is a bit cheaper. So the production version, the axle placement will be obviously in a more normal area. We have E-track anchor points on both exterior walls, which allow you to hook things in, as you'll see when we get the other side. As I mentioned, we've got the Arctic Turn windows. We have a light up here as well, and LED light, and as I said, a 12-foot manual awning. Coming around back here, this is the roof of our sunroom, which I will be showing you shortly here. This pops up. You're going to see a couple of ports like this on the inside of these are marine grade. You'll see them on the inside, and I'll explain what those are for once we get in there. We have a backup camera, standard. We've got 4 corner jacks on each corner. Obviously stability. We have our ladder that takes you up to the roof. Up top, we have 800 watts of solar, standard. This is an ARB just tent with walls and everything. I refer to this as the shed. When we go mountain biking, we pull this out and we keep our bikes under it. This is just mounted to the E-track, so you just unclick right here, this comes off, and you can mount other things here as well if you'd like to. So coming around the side, we've got full-size spare. This is an access port for the electronics. We do have color options, so although a lot of things are standard, you do have customization options, the exterior color being one of them, along with the graphic as well. This hitch you can kind of ignore. We overbuilt the frame and everything. This is very thick steel gauge frame using kind of Australian best practices. As you can see, the hitch is very robust. The production version will have a articulating hitch as an option. And we're probably going to move over to aluminum just to save some weight and also just make it a little bit more towable by more vehicles. So this is the front nose of the trailer. We refer to this as the multi-purpose room. This room serves a couple of functions. First one is that it is storage. However, my wife just likes to use it as a bathroom sometimes as well. We'll use bring the toilet in here. More importantly, you can fit skis in here, you can fit surfboards in here. We have our electronics in the back. It does come standard with an air pump as well. And again, we've got E-track in here, so everything can kind of be moved around. So we've got big battery in here. The production will either have this or Epic lithium, 920 amp hours. So it's designed to be fully off-grid. Obviously the wiring on this production or on this prototype is a bit messy. The production version will have things cleaned up a little bit, but as you can tell, plenty of power to get you through everything. These walls in here are aluminum. However, the main interior is Asdel. So during production, this area will be Asdel as well. You can see here I've got a lot of ceiling height. The ceiling height is 80 inches, so with my shoes on, I'm probably just about 6'2". I've got plenty of standing room here. This door right here, and this is the other element of this room, is vestibule. So we mentioned that the inside of the trailer is completely configurable. Sometimes this is how you come into the trailer. So in the winter time, for those of you that have ever been winter camping, as soon as you open up the door, all that cold air comes in. This allows you to walk in, close the door, and then go in this way to the thing. So when we take the skiing, we always walk in through this door. We can take our boots off, leave them right here, and walk in. I can't physically open it up right now because you'll see why in a second. So we've got just a manual step here. We do have the ability to keep the door open with our little latch right here as well. As mentioned, we've got handle, standard RV lock, or RV lock comes standard, and we've got our inside. Now we've got E-track everywhere. We call this our interior and infinity floor plans. So we'll show you why in a second here, but you can do things like this where you can move things around, and I need a table out here. I can just simply click it in, and now I've got table right there. So coming into the trailer, this is a fairly standard configuration that we'll use a lot of times. This is a bunk bed. So we've got one bed there, bunk bed here, with kind of like a storage loft. This is 1,000-pound or maybe 2,000-pound netting. So you can use it to sleep in as well. You can move it around. This table drops down. You can fit 4 here. You can also have this gone and sit people here. But this table will drop down, turn this into a full queen-size bed. So 80 or 60 by 80. You can also slide these forward and rotate these ones. There's a second table. As I mentioned, it will drop down, and it will give you seating for 6 or 8 people and give you an 80 by 80 full bed, king-size bed, residential king-size bed. You can also do stacked king-size beds if you want to by putting another thing here and having 2 king's beds, which we've done in the past before. So we've got some overhead storage. These are, which I'll show you in a little bit here, can be lifted up and moved around. We have a projector with a screen. So this can be moved, it can be taken out altogether. You can set it up outside if you want to. We have an air conditioning unit, 12 volt, so everything runs completely off the battery. I do not need to be plugged in to use this. I can just turn it on and it runs. The production version also has a heat pump on here as well. So you can heat and cool, all again off the batteries. This particular model, since it's our prototype, is not inverted at all. Everything is 12 volt. So we will have regular, plugs here, 120 volt plugs in the production, but for right now it's just all 12 volt. The nice thing about using the E-Track is magnetic. Things can be kind of put anywhere. So this is a towel rack. We've got a garbage can. Maybe I want it outside. I can simply take it and click it in right here, just like I did with the other one. So I got that outside now. This is same thing here. This is our carbon monoxide. Move this around based as you need to. Lights and air conditioning. This is magnetic. I can move this around as I need to based on, again, where I'm putting everything. We've got the Arctic turning windows. So we've got shades integrated along with the mosquito netting. And you can go like this, close it. These are great in the wintertime. Stays open. So these are our storage bins here. As you can tell, they're very large. So all 4 of them are like this. You can see they have a hole here. So everything clicks into the E-Track. So everything is stable while you're driving. Now, everything here is completely movable. You do have the option to have the front off. So you can see these things just go like this. That particular one has it off, so you can still access things from either the top or the front, depending on how you want it. The color here, so this particular version, I just happen to really like the darker walnut with navy blue and gray. But this is waterproof residential flooring that can be chosen by you. Same thing with the color of the fabric, and same thing with the color of all the furniture. So if you would like to have white furniture with green fabric and kind of like that oak style, same thing with these, you can pick that. So everything is customizable from a color standpoint. Now, one thing I want to mention here is these marine grade ports, as you saw outside. This trailer is designed, as I mentioned, for the action sports. So skiing and snowboarding is a big part of that. These are ports for our wood burning stove. So you can put it right here, right there, move move things around as needed to, and have the wood burning stove. We've taken it skiing a couple times, and the wood burning stove works amazing. We also have a diesel heater as well that you can use to kind of keep things warmer without the stove if you need to, and save some space. This is Asdel walling. We use Havlock insulation on the inside. So again, completely 4-season. So it works, I would say, very efficiently. The wood burning stove probably a little too well sometimes. Now the real magic here, because sometimes there are things that can be moved around in other trailers. In our trailer, everything is movable, including the kitchen sink. So the bathroom module and the kitchen module are all completely self-contained. So this is a wet bath. We use the Julka composting toilet that can be taken out and put into the Vinos if you want to. Again, I'm about 6'2" with my shoes on, so you can see I've got enough space here. I have this. This does have hot water. We do use a Bouge RV water heater, which is not installed right now, but it typically sits up right there. This shower has a 10-gallon tank, gray tank as well. And this just slides in, and I can close this. This is to fill up my ports and everything. This wall right here, or this door I should say, closes obviously when we're traveling. But this also makes a divider wall, because depending on how you have this set up, sometimes you might want to rotate the shower this way, and then this will actually enclose the whole front. So it kind of gives you almost a private bathroom. We have just shelving here that can be moved completely. We have a 2-burner propane stove. We've got nice deep, I have a fan in here. So again, magnetic things. Nice thing about the E-Track is you can put things using magnets anywhere. Nice deep stove or sink. Again, 12 volt, everything is 12 volt. So the Iceco 65-liter refrigerator just plugs in at all different points. This particular thing here, we have our Renogy power system, and we just keep track of everything right here. The production version, this probably won't be here because this also controls the heat, but on the production, the air conditioning unit will actually have heat built in, so the extra heater that we had won't actually be necessary, so this thing won't even really be there. Again, this is a paper towel thing. We've got the refrigerator, so again, nice size. You can get a bigger refrigerator, 80 liter, which would remove the drawer, but a lot of people like the drawer. Also, just thinking about that, the shower, this is a 30 by 30 shower. We do offer it in a 36 by 36 size as well, so if you want something bigger than this, the issue then though is that it does limit the configuration options because of the size difference. So 30 by 30 is the standard, but a 36 by 36 is available. We've got our drawer right here. So one thing you may have noticed, or maybe not, is that there was no propane tanks on the front. So there's no plumbing in here in the trailer itself. That includes propane. Everything, again, is completely self-contained. So the only thing the propane runs here is the stove. You use a 1 pound propane tank. This right here powers the burner. So if I want to start it up, that's that. It also powers the pump for the sink. We have 7-gallon tanks, both gray and fresh, of course. We do offer an optional 18 or 25-gallon corner tank for this, so if you want to have more water available to you, you can have that. All right, now I'm excited to show you guys kind of the part that we've been talking about, the transformation and setting up the sunroom. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is that you're not going to be moving this around when you're at camp. Ideally, you're going to have it all set up, ready to go from home, and then when you get to camp, you just maybe open up the back or do whatever, but nothing is in here so I can move them around. Obviously, again, if you're fully loaded, you're not going to be able to just slide things around easily. So just kind of keep that in mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that we can come in through the front door here. So I'm just going to start doing some things here. Get this table folded up. Use the storage bin, storage area. Close this up. But then I'll just so then this would be closed, right? We've got that, and then now the door going into the vestibule is usable. So this is in the winter time, a little bit more how we have it set up. So we can come in this way. You got the bathroom right here. The other thing that's nice too is that we can set it up so that these things are very easy to move. No tools required. So it clicks in. There we go. There's that. And then you can also use these as a sitting area if you want to. So I do my cooking and just use this as a little platform. I've got some space right here as well. And I still got my bunk beds. All right, now we're gonna set up the sunroom. So as I mentioned, this back actually becomes the roof. So just gonna go ahead and start opening it up here. Now in the production version, you won't need to do this part. I'm just kind of getting the actuators set up. Typically on the production, it's gonna be built in. We were trying to avoid actuators altogether, but realized that it was just too difficult to do it manually. So the actuators will be a big help, and it will be, built in. So the other thing too is trying to source the correct actuators for this exact situation. All right, now that we have the roof up, we're gonna lower the floor. First thing I'm gonna do is bring these support legs up. Now, one thing that will be very different on the production is this part of it. Everything is gonna be automated. So what I'm doing right now is kind of manual. We completely underestimated the weight of the flooring when we were doing this. So we didn't put in the proper infrastructure on the prototype to lower this without too much of a manual process. So again, the production version will be a bit easier to do with this. So we're gonna basically unclick these here. All right, you're going to come on this side with me if you can. There you go. All right. So we have our floor down. Now it's time to go ahead and get the glass panels up. So this is the first panel here. This goes on the passenger side. It's got some magnets here. Just gonna line it up and click it in. Yeah, so this obviously seals it and then also keeps it from falling out. All right, now we're gonna put in this other panel here. You can see here that this panel has some wear and tear from using it a lot. Clicks right in. So we've got panel number 6 here. Again, this isn't awful, but the process is a lot more simplified on the production. So it's a good learning experience with these, and this will be a much faster process, like I said, whenever you do this at your campground. There we go. Last thing, you just need to secure it. Now we can go ahead and take care of our insides. So, pretty nice view. I'm gonna have it set up kind of just in a, I guess maybe like a 2-bed format. You can see here we've got in-floor wheel chocks as well for mountain biking. So if you and a couple buddies are taking your bikes, you can do that. One thing that's really neat here too is that these boxes convert into standalone bunk beds. So what I would do here is I would open this, I would set this down right here. Close it, put the other one on this side, and then if you remember the beams we had that came across here for the bunk beds, they would come here. So now I've got standalone bunk beds. So you could, in theory, have this set up in a manner that would let you sleep 2, 4, 6, 8 people. Would it be extremely tight? Yes, but it is doable. So I'm gonna have this set up here. If I wanted these to be beds, I have, obviously the tables that can go in between here. But a typical setup that we have is this, if we wanted to, just to show you. And then I've got one more piece in here. Your couch that also turns into a full 60-inch queen-size bed. Get a nice little rug if you want to. This is particularly helpful in the wintertime when the floor might be a little on the cold side. And what we'll do here too is put up a bar right here. We have ski racks you can hang up.
Mike, I really appreciate the opportunity to showcase this awesome build. Now, I would say you really thought outside of the box, and you're literally outside of the box. I've never seen anything like this before. Maybe like in a tiny house, like in one of those postcard cabins I've seen on Instagram, but not something that you could move around and travel with and set up. Now, I know this is just a proof of concept prototype, and you're going into production very soon, so there's going to be some tweaks and changes. I know off camera you talked about there are some panels that go up along the roof line to fill in the gap. We didn't set them up for the video just so people understand what's going on. But this is incredible. So now we go from how big to how long?
So we go from about a 13-foot box to about a 20-foot box in here. As I mentioned, everything's 80 inches, so we got 80 inches of width, 80 inches of height, and then enough room for you and your whole family or you and a group of friends.
And off camera we talked a little bit about, there's some advantages to having a trailer that grows in length, because there are some beautiful state national parks and some off the beaten path parks that restrict size because you can't make the turns.
Yes, exactly. We had this down during our testing process in Bahia Honda State Park, and we were able to park right on the beachfront lots just because we were able to get this in as a shortened trailer. And then when we got there, we opened up the back and had a beautiful oceanfront view.
Awesome. And pricing hasn't yet been determined because you're still in the prototype stage, trying to figure out what the cost is going to be very soon, I guess. And do you have a website? I know you have social media.
Yep. Search for outdoors.com.
Search and the number 4.
Number 4, outdoors.com.
I'll put that link in the description. Thank you for joining us today.